fighting. This is not you discharging a weapon at an enemy here. This is you observing what is going on.
Yeah, that's me just having a quick butcher's at the kit and equipment that they've issued. So, young soldier comes to me, have a butcher's at this, I have a look at it, and that's what happens.
Right. The main thing is you came back and you reported, in its present form, this war against IS is unwinnable.
Yeah, I believe it is unwinnable at the moment, unless we do something a bit more than what we're doing. The airstrikes alone are not enough to win a war like this. At some stage, somebody's got to get in the weeds and get messy.
Yeah, why is that, Phil? Because, I mean, the general consensus among politicians, you will hear very, very few politicians saying, get involved, get boots on the ground.
They won't say that because, you know, obviously nobody wants to lose any more troops. Unfortunately, this is a messy business. You know, and if you look back at any conflict, you know, the Americans lobbed stuff into Vietnam for years, and they just went underground, didn't they? And this will happen there. They'll change their tactics, and they'll adapt to what we're doing to them. So you've got to get in there, you've got to get hold of them, and you've got to say, right, off you go, because we've had enough of it.
Let me ask you, why did you get in there? Why did you put your life on your line? You've served your time, you've done your bit for Queen and country. Why put yourself in the firing line again for this? What is your role in all of this?
I wanted to report back from there exactly what was happening. And I think, you know, the normal correspondent with the blue flak jacket, the press on the front and the helmet on lopsided running around with pressed clothes ain't going to do that. I'll do that. I'll go in there because that's my environment. That's what I've learned to do over quite a long career. And so, you know, the picture I'll give you back would be slightly different to what a normal correspondent would give you.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the programme actually going to show us about what's going on the ground with IS?
Yeah, the programme will show you my journey along a front line which stretches, you know, through Syria from up by Al-Hasaka all the way down to Kirkuk. We went in the end, and it will show you the guys and girls that are fighting, and some would argue on our behalf, and keeping that front line between ISIS and the rest of the world.
Now, you say they're the guys and the girls.
Yeah.
This is the YPG. These are the female fighters. Why are they so important?
Important because every fighter down there is important, to be honest, Damien.
But IS particularly do not want to be shot, injured or
they
killed.
They don't want to be shot, injured or killed by a female because they believe that, you know, they then lose their virgins and their paradise and all the rest of the stuff that they've been promised, you know, once they've been while they've been indoctrinated into what they're doing.
Yeah, and this is the role the women have to play. Let's have a look at this.
This is my personal opinion. I swear no one has told me to say this. Women fight the same as men, maybe even better. But now we're all fighting for the same cause. We fight as equals. I say that women can never be superior to men and vice versa. Yet some fight just like men, maybe even better.
Well, we saw you test firing the equipment there. Tell me about the equipment and what the soldiers, how well or not they are equipped.
Right, they're not well equipped. They've got old Russian gear that's been cannibalised, that's been picked off the enemy. They've got a limited supply of ammunition and bombs and that sort of stuff. And they're up against a force that basically have taken their weapon and gear from an Iraqi army who's capitulated once being fully equipped and decked out by the Americans with all the latest gear. So it's not massively fair on the equipment side of life for them.
Phil, I just want to put this to you. We've had some word in on the newswires from Syrian Kurdish militia who say that they're going to launch an offensive in Raqqa against IS, and they're saying that basically they're working a bit better operationally on the ground than perhaps you're suggesting. This is from Syria, the Kurdish militia, saying that they're about to launch an offensive on IS targets in Raqqa, and they're saying they're actually making good progress on the ground. From what you've seen when you were there, do you understand that to be the case? Do you think they're making the headway that they're saying they are?
They can against certain targets if they've got enough people and enough gear behind them. You know, it's not for the want of fighting these people because they're absolutely game as you like. They're all right up for it, you know, so it's not for the want of that. Where it's lacking is a very long front line, and so, you know, in some places it's not as well equipped as others.
So they might be winning the small battles, but overall they're not winning the war.
They might get through in one area, but then, you know, they're going to have to hold firm in another.
What I don't understand is, surely if you do send in fighter planes and they bomb and they blow the opposition to bits, surely that has got to be a big thing. Why do you say that's not effective enough?
It's a big thing, yes, and don't get me wrong, they appreciate it. But like I say, IS will adapt to that. And they'll go underground, and it's not killing everybody, and you've still got, you know, loads of rubble and loads of towns and loads of things aren't clear.
So what's the answer to that? If it's not exactly full-scale infantry on the ground, special forces?
Possibly. You know, I'm not going to voice my opinion on special forces on television. I'm not really allowed to comment on that, you know, what their role would be. But certainly somebody, once it's been softened up, needs to go in there and pick through the pieces, or it's not going to finish. They'll just regroup and come back,
But what I'm saying, could this be one with a combination of airstrikes and special forces?
Oh, with a combination of that, yeah, with all the bells and whistles deployed, yeah, we'll have a pop at that, and I think we'd steamroller them, to be honest. But it needs all the bells and whistles deployed. It can't sort of like, we'll do a bit of that and a bit of that and a bit of this. It don't happen, does it?
Anybody watching Big Phil's War tonight, what will they come away with? What impression will they come away with?
I hope they'll come away with, what I saw. I've gone down there to report on how the soldiers see it and exactly what it's like on the front line. I had to get myself into a bit of a punch-up to do it, but, I think it was worth it. I hope it was worth it.
OK, we'll find out. It is on Sky Atlantic. It is 10 o'clock tonight, and also 9 o'clock tomorrow night on Sky News. Phil, thank you very much
Lovely,
indeed.
cheers, Amy.
Thank you.
Thanks,